What up, YouTube? This is your boy Lago One Half and Duo, and this is a very special video that I want to put out. Today's a very special day for me and the people around my life and everything. 2002, March 23rd. I had the chance, the opportunity, and I grabbed the reins to start doing something that changed my life forever. Now, it started all the way back in 1999, really, where I produced my first song and sold very well, but was produced on another person's album and gave me the benefit of saying, hey, I could take this to another level. In high school, I was in the band, I was in the choir, and I love music. I love music since I was very young. And for that reason, I took it upon myself to just mess around and dabble with music more and more. So in this video, you're gonna see some instances of my life, a little personal. Still, you're not. We're going to start, and right now I have a documentary that's being done by somebody else, which is cool. But really, in 2002, March 23rd, I started my music label, my company. And many people said I would have never passed a year, which, hey, a year's passed, 2 years passed, 3 years have passed, and then the next thing you know, this is coming more and more that, hey, something is going on here. This changed my life of music, basically changed my life and got me into making many things which we'll talk about in that regard. But this is a very special day for me because I never thought I'll reach 20 years. With that said, you're gonna hear some music in the background. It's unreleased music that I produced, and you're gonna hear from some of the people at the radio show with, and some of my artists as well too, so you know how this is. But with that said, let's just go with a certain point. All right, so we're gonna go with my crew. I've been privileged to have these guys. This is us when we won a very prestigious award in England, and we performed at the O2, which I could say I'm happy that I had the prestige of performing in. But this is basically my whole crew right here at the time. And I didn't thought that me start a company and I could hire and sign all these people to do great music worldwide. But not only that, I never thought I would have make it from where I started at. As you can see right now, this is basically my second home. I have no drone footage of my first home, which is the island of Nevis, but this is my hood. This is my neighborhood. Came from the mother work hard as she can. And you see those yellow buildings back there? That's the project. That's the hood. My mom worked hard enough and started her own company, and lucky to keep us above the ghetto. in that regard. Still, 2-bedroom apartment. And now, with so many changes that I have in my life because of music, I am here with a house back home in Nevis, a 5-bedroom house back home in Nevis, and a 5-bedroom house here in North Carolina where I live. But I came from humble beginnings, and I'm trying to move forward with my love of music to hire people downstairs from me, left from me, having fun with it. I never thought that I would come from this and fly around the world. In my wildest dreams, I never thought that I would get gold plaques, platinum plaques. Never. When I started my company, I just started it for fun. I just wanted to do music just to enjoy my life. But would I ever thought I'd reach out and touch so many people? No. And of course, when I started in 2002, I am happy and I'm lucky that I've got many friends to join in to help me to expand my music. And the reason I say that is because of this. In 2004, I have got my music in movies. I got my movies in animes. I got my movie in show. But because of certain people, Kenji's one of them, I've got my music inside of video games that I never thought I would have got it in these video games. One of them, of course, is this footage I'm going to play on the screen right now, which I had the fun of doing and get myself into gaming. I had the opportunity to get my music into Red Steel 2, Need for Speed Underground 2, Need for Speed Carbon, FIFA 2005, World Cup 2006, World Cup 2010. It was an honor. Mad World. And to get myself into these games with my music branched out and showed me not only how the gaming industry is, it got me behind the scenes to see how to run a company, how to do so many things. Coding, the part I always talk about with how design publishers and the designers themselves are different. Also show me how a lot of people could put a lot of design, as you can see, there's Red Steel. A very underrated game, but very well produced. So I don't know nobody it's sold, but not sold enough to make a sequel. Which I think this should be a 3. 1 was a good but two was awesome. And for me, I never even thought that I could have put my music into these games. But I want to just point out, like I said, 2022 is not only the year that I've become old, but made me understand gaming itself. Like I said before, I'm old now. I already said many times about the digital gaming. I already seen many things happen with the always online, like you see in certain games, as we call how should I say, like how you see with Grand Theft not Grand Theft Auto, Gran Turismo. Now even single players is always online, and it's just if they messes up, you can't play the game, which is weird. But I wanna thank, like I said, with music, like the music is the most biggest part of this platform on Endure channel. A lot of people love the music that we put on there. Not only mine, but I'm talking about like the jukebox. The jukebox is the biggest play on there. That we have gotten to 33 million impressions. We have a video that's over 1 million views. We have subscriber has been blown up in the last 3 years, and my top played videos are not negative videos. Yes, I have one video which is the I rant video, and I admit to that. But other than that, most of my videos have been positive. And like I said before, it's just I'm so happy just to get into looking at these chance, I should say, not chance, to play games that have my music in it, which is awesome. Like I said, being movies, being all that stuff, like I said before. And like this year, I have my new radio show that's popping off, and it has been doing very well, which is a podcast. It's on every platform out there. It's on YouTube, it's on Facebook, it's on Spotify, it's on Anchor, it's on Stitcher, it's on Nico Nico, it's on Tempo FM, it's so, like, the last radio show we did a week ago had 61,000 people listening to it live, which is awesome. Now it's a far cry from a radio show I had when I had terrestrial radio show back in 2012 to 2015. I had my own radio show that I had 9.4 million listeners listening at the time. That was the highest rated that I had. I made great money from that. But again, starting this company, I never thought of not only making money for me, also making money for those people you saw earlier, giving those people their own lives, their own contracts to start their own music careers and everything. That was important to me, and I always try to pay it forward. It's not an easy reflection to see how music's so universal that it touches everybody's lives, just like video games. And it's very inclusive. Everybody can enjoy it. And I am happy to share a certain part with you guys on this on the screen. So, let's say there's a documentary going for the 28th anniversary of my company. So I'm gonna play some of the. I have some of the footage from the guy who's doing the documentary, so I'm gonna play some of the footage so you guys can see it. And of course, I'm gonna blur out certain names and stuff because again, I like my privacy. But again, if it wasn't for music, I don't think I would have had a great love for video games without it. And I know it's an integral part of gaming, so hey, that's what I like about it. Remember, you check out all these other games out there. Remember, that's why I got the physical. Red Steel 2, Need for Speed Carbon, Need for Speed Underground. I have those games. A Mad World, I have those games, and again, playing those games and hearing my music is awesome. With that said, let's just jump to the. Let's go jump into the documentary.
I don't know, but he does everything, and that wows me. And that's why I like to always be in his circle, because first of all, has your back. Second of all, he kind of like mentors you and guides you, you know, in the business because he knows so much about business. And he's also fun, and he's funny. Yes, we've known each other for a while, and he is my really dear and like one of my best friends. And so as one of my best friends, he does get on my nerves, but I do love him.
I saw something in me I didn't see within myself. Like, you know, he always came to me like, yo, you got the potential, you have that, but let's kind of dial back the attitude and the anger, and you know, because I was a firecracker. You know, now I always tell him I'm a reformed hothead. So, solid brother, you know what I mean? Solid, someone who really loves his family and loves the people around him. And you just, that's something you don't really find now a lot of nowadays. So, for me to come across that in my early 20s, working at a grocery store overnight, you know, night in and night out, and for him to say, hey, you know, it's okay to hold down a job, it's okay to be angry, but there's other ways and avenues in which we can channel that anger. And for me, it was music.
He is a very kind guy. He's somebody who cares about current events. He talks a good bit. He's very knowledgeable about a lot of things, and very, what is the word? Strong-willed, I'll say.
Great person when it comes to opening your mind to something that maybe you hadn't thought about in that light. But he's cynical, so you got to be careful, cause you know, and he's very blunt. I like that part, cause I'm blunt too. He's so far very honest. I've known him very long time, and he's never lied to me. Good man. Even better leader, I would say. Again, cynical as hell. You gotta watch it.
Asked me to help him out. I really felt excited. I felt honored, and I'm like, this is his baby, and he wants me to help him out. And when we co-hosted, we just blended. It was great because he had his take, and I had my take, and usually it was the opposite. Usually I represented the female view. So I felt really excited to give, you know, everybody a different view on what, and of course I did, you know, he and I both made it fun. We made it fun, but I did bring in some laughter. It makes you more confident. Whenever you have a platform where you can speak to people in a comfortable setting, it makes you more confident. I will say that. I think just like the YouTube channels make people more confident, they can actually speak about whatever they want to speak about. You know, sometimes we're like, what in the world are they speaking about? but somebody likes it because they got like mad views, right? So by being on a radio show or by being on YouTube or anything like that, or TV, you will become more confident. So I am happy for the opportunity, and I think others need to definitely chime in on it. Fun. I liked it. I liked it because I learned a lot from him. He knows so much about everything. Sometimes too much. Sometimes it's too philosophical. I'm like, let's chill, relax. But it was great. I've always learned from him. And I think I also, he learned from me as well. I think I taught him some things as well. This can be stubborn. So I did have to kind of knock down some walls. But at the end of it, he's like a great person, and he cares about people, and he will he's very good at what he does. So I know that he will be successful, and I am happy for all of the years that he has been successful.
Why is it not on the radio?
Exactly.
Where can I find the album? How much is it? How quick can I get the download?
She got her hand up the back of my shirt. She was being critical.
And if I'm an artist, how can I get on this track? How can I get a beat from him? You know?
How can I flow or write to this beat to make it Chris's? You know, especially if, you know, he's telling me like, yo, like, yeah, you can have this beat, or yeah, you can use it, it's cool. You know, I just get really excited, you know, because I just think of a million different ideas, a million different flows, a million different ways in which I could write, and, you know, I'm all about the punchlines and the, you know, so that typically what goes through my mind. I get what they call the shit phase, where you just, you know, so if I ever do that, if you're a producer and you're watching this, if I ever do that on one of your beats, you know your beat is fire. So, but I would just say, you know, the juices get flowing. You know, the artistic, you know, I just can't wait to artistically express myself on beats. And they're just it's just a range of different, it's pop, R&B, it's hip hop, it's, you know, ones I've heard that were played for me that were everything. It's almost like Outkast, and I'm a huge Outkast fan. So first thing that comes to mind is he's very supportive of other artists. Once again, that's not something we come across a lot of nowadays. Especially if you're an artist signing other artists, or even just want to work with them and help them in any way. Like, he really takes a backseat, you know, to what, you know, he's doing, and he's willing to make time for you to come, and hey, you can come by, you know, I'm off this day, this time, if you can make it, I'm here, you know, and I'll record you, I'll work with you, I'll even coach you. A lot of times, you know, I don't know if any other artist out there has the same issue, but I didn't like my voice for the longest, and he was like, well, it's not for you, it's for the listener, so you may hear something they don't, and vice versa. So he was, you know, it's really like having Coach K. You know, I'm a Duke fan, baby, you know, so having Coach K in your corner, or like a Phil Jackson with the Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan, that's how I feel. You know, and that's, for me, that's everything, being a new artist, being someone who was nervous getting on the mic. He really brought that confidence out of me. So, hey, it's okay, just flow through the song, don't rush through it. So for me, his patience is just unmatched as an artist, and that's a huge deal. A lot of artists don't give artists under them that time or opportunities to shine or to showcase their talent.
It's been great. I think he's very understanding. He's a great producer. He knows how to really pull the potential out of someone. He doesn't really apply too much pressure. He allows you to really express yourself as an artist, and exercises a lot of patience when it's necessary. He was just focused. And I think, you know, having somebody and he kind of knew what was going on. And I had just gotten started. I had been singing for a long time, but I've always been really shy. So I was doing my best to overcome that, but I ended up working shortly after that, and we were working on a couple of projects, one being my first song, and then I was also doing like a hook for him. And I was extremely shy. No confidence in my potential and my abilities. And he just had this way about him that really allowed me to open up and feel comfortable expressing myself in a way that I hadn't previously.
It makes me want to rhyme. It makes me want to go in. Like, every time, like, it's always a crowd pleaser, you know what I'm saying? Like the last time, you know, we was here, you know, in the middle, you know, had some artists here, you know, comes through, puts on some beats, it's like, everybody's just already like, you can tell the creative juices are flowing, you know, everybody wants
I think
to,
one of my
like,
favorite moments were when we did the reggae song with our crew and how he was able to manipulate them almost into sounding like they were from the islands, and they weren't. And it worked so smooth and it was effortless. Like, we had fun. It was a long day, but it happens in music. But it was perfect, you know, in a musical sense. It was perfect. It gave all the elements that was needed. Everybody had high energy, you know, and that's the island way. You have to have high energy. That's just, hey, you know. But it was a really dope session.
Communication has gotten better between what is expected and what's done. I've got to write things down. He's got to repeat himself several times. It's just what happens. But when the music comes on, he knows how to capture what's needed in the music. He knows how to, you know, make my quirkiness come out. He knows how to, you know, fill in the music with music that people would not have known can go together. So quite entertaining watching him work, but not always been a picnic. One of my favorite songs is to like hearing that, I get revved up a little bit. So remembering how that was one of my first freestyles and just going really into it. Oh man, this is dope, this is life. And then capturing that, I'm like, oh, I get to relive that experience. So that moment, trying to collaborate and hearing all the different artists and all the different styles, I'm like, oh man, yeah, this is dope. I want to be here. I was just like, oh man, first of all, somebody heard it on the radio and then called me out. And goes, yo, I heard your song on the radio. I'm like, no way. And then I heard it again, either the next day or a few hours later into the day. I'm like, oh snap. And then hearing how it goes right into the other artists, and now known as like Lady Lesher, and then Sean Paul, and then I'm like amongst them. I'm like, oh, this is awesome. So I liked hearing the collaboration. Radio show is that we touched on everything. We touched on social issues, politics, beauty, confidence. It was good to have us both there. And she can relate to both sides of the coin. He can relate to males and he can relate to females. So he had good advice for both of them. And then when I came in, you know, I just added on to that advice that he gave. And I know that we did touch a lot of people because we had so many viewers. I mean, and that was in the beginning stages, and we had, I believe, like a lot of viewers in just different like parts of the world.
So when he gives me a beat that really resonates with my soul, I just really get this deep sense of excitement. It's like, I don't even have an analogy for it, but basically he plays the track, he's created this beat, and he's like, in his mind, he already knows that, oh, such and such will love this. Like, this is something she can do. She can sing on this. And so when he plays it for you, I already know kind of that's his expectation. But then when you hear it and you're just like, oh, okay. And then you catch a whole vibe, and you automatically get thrust into a mode of seeing the potential and where this can go and what you can do on this beat, what you can create with this beat.
You know, I don't like really being on the stage by myself, but having to share that stage and just kind of back him up, it was more like you know, the crowd wasn't there and it was just chilling in the living room and making music and stuff and just kind of holding the mic and just seeing what happened. So it was always kind of an entertaining bond to see what else we could do, you know, while on stage. He says something, I'll try to be the hype girl on that one line or something. So it's kind of fun. And then he bounces around a lot. That was great, but then I had to like run away afterwards because there's too many people. But it was great to see how the music was received by the people listening to us. That was kind of like almost checked off my bucket list, perform for a good amount of people.
It was like the pot of gold at the end of a rainbow for me. It was just such a huge payoff. It basically allowed me to kind of show myself that I'm capable of greatness, and yes, I can do it. My confidence was just through the roof. I think I was just, that was definitely a proud moment.
All right, there you go. You got a sample. There are many more artists, of course, that I could use, and this is just a rough draft of that documentary. But again, I am just happy that I got 20 years in music, and again, the music branched out into movies, and of course, in this child branched out in video games, and just have that string of luck and blessings that I get money off of this, and I give that same thing to other artists you hear and make them feel great. So again, yes, your ears wasn't messing up. I want my privacy, so they cut out my company name and my name because I just don't want to. But like I said, these are the beats of my company. 20 years, and I'm just happy I made it. And thank you for letting me share it with you guys on the Endure channel. Peace out.
Happy 20th anniversary. We're going to have 20 more plus 20 more plus 20 more plus 20 more plus infinity. Oh, times infinity. That'd be even more.
Yeah, brother, keep doing your thing, man. Keep doing your thing. 20 more years. Let's do it.
It's been 20 years? I cannot believe that. Like, it said that he started 20 years ago, one day after my birthday. That's why it's growing. It's like around my birthday. That's extra special. And you know what? It's gonna be 20 more years, and it's gonna be way more than what it is now. Okay, so I wish all the blessings, the success, the luck, the right people, the right circles, the right finances to help. It is about helping others. So when you give, you get.
The current artists, the past artists, present artists, you know. I salute what you guys been doing. You know, just from the first time telling me about his label, the things you guys have accomplished, and just the stories you would tell. I was just so enamored with you guys' journey, and to see what you guys had. I truly wish y'all another 20 years. So.
Okay. Well, happy anniversary. A strong 20 years in the making and 20 more to come.
And how it gave me kind of my start into being kind of what I consider myself to be an international artist. So thank you for giving me that opportunity and working with people I never thought I'd be able to work with, and hearing myself amongst other great artists. Congratulations, another 20 years and even more. That's what's up.